The first memoir we're going to be looking at is Dear America, Notes of an Undocumented Citizen by Vargas. And we're going to specifically be looking at the chapter where he finds out that he is here illegally. So he comes here as a child, and he isn't aware that he's come here illegally until he goes to try to get his driver's license. I'm going to read that chapter, and then I'm going to talk about some of the things that we will be looking for to try to emulate in our own writing. Fake. The next time I thought about my green card, I was riding my mountain bike to the nearby Department of Motor Vehicles office, just across the street from Target. Without telling anyone in the family, I decided I was going to apply for a driver's permit. I was 16, the age when American teenagers were supposed to get their licenses. Sometimes Lolo drove me to school but couldn't pick me up, so I often took the bus or bummed rides from friends. After Lolo bought me a newly painted black bike at a garage sale for $50, it was my primary way of getting around. According to a DMV instruction booklet I had found at the library, I had to bring proof of identification with me. Since I was an immigrant, that meant bringing my green card, which Lolo kept in a folder in a filing cabinet in his bedroom. With my green card and the school identification card tucked inside my geometry textbook, I filled out the application form, took my seat, and waited for my name to be called. A few minutes later, I handed a curly-haired, bispectacled woman my school ID and green card. Without even looking at the school ID, Jose Vargas, class of 2000, Mountain View High School, it read. She examined the green card, flipping it around twice. Furrowing her brow, she then lowered her head, leaned over, and whispered, "This is fake. Don't come back here again." Fake? I instantly thought she was mistaken, perhaps even lying. She seemed surprised that I didn't know that the green card was fake. In fact, I was so sure that she was mistaken or lying that I didn't even bother to question her. I just assumed she was wrong, turned around, got on my bike, and pedaled home, accompanied by a mixtape of Alanis Morissette and Boyz II Men, the music and lyrics muddling my thoughts. Of course she's lying. How can it be fake? As I approached my Pueblo Mexican market, where Lola and I sometimes shop for mangoes and rice, my heart stopped. Maybe the woman at the DMV thought I was Mexican, because, my name is Jose, even though it's not Jose. I returned home, my confusion starting to turn into a full-fledged panic attack. I was sure everything would be fine. Lolo would clear everything up as he always did. Lolo had always taken care of everyone in the family. He stood no more than 5 feet 7 inches tall, but loomed over everyone, speaking in a clipped, over-enunciated English that exuded clarity. Since Lolo worked the graveyard shift, he was often home in the afternoon. He was hunched over a table in the garage, cutting grocery coupons from newspapers, a cigarette dangling from his lips when I arrived. I dropped my bike on the ground, searched for the green card in my backpack, and ran toward him.
Peke ba ito?
I asked in Tagalog. Is this fake? I held out the green card and searched his face as my voice cracked, afraid of what he might say. Without addressing the question, he got up, swiped the card from my hand, uttered a sentence that changed the course of my life.
Huwag mong ipakita yang sa mga tao.
Don't show the card to people. His voice was soft, soaking in shame.
Hindi ka dapat nandito.
You are not supposed to be here. More than 2 decades later, remembering the shock of hearing the sentence spoken by the very man who had sacrificed so much to bring his first grandson to America still haunts me. Nothing Lolo ever said to me afterward, nothing Lola or Mama has said to me since, weighed as heavily. I was speechless, in English and Tagalog. I didn't remember what I said, but so many questions came darting from all directions that I thought my head would burst open to make room for them. If this green card is fake, then what else is fake? Who else knows that this card is fake? Lola? Uncle Roland? Does Mama know? Why didn't anybody tell me? Can I get a real green card? Is a real green card something you can buy? For how much? Where? Can I tell my friends about this? Can I trust my family? Who can I trust? All I knew was that I could barely trust myself, what I was feeling and how I was dealing with the shock. It was disorienting, as though gravity had changed and I could float away. So I'm going to stop the chapter there. But I wanted to talk about his use of italics here. So he's doing a couple different things with italics. So one of them being the stuff that's in a different language is italicized, but also what's happening with these italics. They're all questions, right? So we have a bunch of questions, but these are questions that he's not asking out loud. These are questions that he's asking in his head. So there are two techniques that we can use after reading this. So there's two things I'm going to have you practice. One being putting any of your thoughts in italics. So anything that is a thought and not said out loud is going to be in italics to help your reader know that those are thoughts and not dialogue or description. The other thing that we're going to play around with is writing these rhetorical questions. So these questions are going to shape the rest of his memoir. Okay, because now he's questioning everything. He says, if this is fake, what else is fake? Who can I trust? So this is setting us up for the rest of the memoir to continue to ask those questions over and over again. Who can he trust? What else in his life is fake? How does he remedy the situation that he's now in? So those are the two things that we're going to play around with. So grab the worksheet and we'll get started.